Once upon a time, in a small village nestled amidst the tranquil mountains of ancient India, lived a young man named Siddhartha. Siddhartha, born into a noble family, enjoyed a life of privilege and abundance. His days were filled with laughter, material comforts, and the promise of a prosperous future. But deep within Siddhartha's heart, there was an unspoken sadness, a nagging feeling that all the wealth and luxury around him could not dispel. He often found himself wondering about the meaning of life, the nature of suffering, and the pursuit of true happiness. Little did he know that his quest for answers would lead him on a profound journey of self-discovery and enlightenment, ultimately inspiring countless generations to come. One day, Siddhartha decided to embark on a journey beyond the palace walls, away from the confines of his opulent life. He set out in search of the truth, determined to find the keys to happiness and contentment that had eluded him for so long, leaving behind his princely robes and worldly possessions. He donned the humble attire of a wandering ascetic and began his quest for knowledge and spiritual awakening. For years, Siddhartha traveled across the land, seeking wisdom from renowned teachers and gurus, practicing extreme asceticism, and pushing the limits of his physical and mental endurance. But despite his unwavering dedication, he found no lasting answers to his questions. His sadness still lingered, a shadow he could not shake. One fateful day, Siddhartha arrived at the banks of the serene river Ganges, exhausted and disillusioned. He sat down under the shade of a bodhi tree, determined to meditate until he uncovered the truth he sought. For 49 days and nights, Siddhartha delved deep into the recesses of his mind, confronting his inner demons and exploring the mysteries of existence. As he meditated, Siddhartha experienced a profound awakening. He realized that true happiness could not be found in the pursuit of material wealth or the avoidance of suffering. Rather, it lay in understanding the nature of suffering itself and transcending it. Siddhartha, now known as the Buddha, had discovered the Four Noble Truths and the Eightfold Path, a path to liberation from the cycle of suffering and rebirth. With newfound clarity, the Buddha began to share his teachings with others. He traveled from village to village, gathering disciples who were drawn to his wisdom and compassion. His words touched the hearts of those who listened, offering them a path towards inner peace and enlightenment. One of the most heartwarming stories from the Buddha's life was that of a young woman named Kisagotami. Kisagotami had experienced immense sorrow when her only child had died. Overwhelmed by grief, she clung to her lifeless baby, refusing to accept the reality of death. Desperate for help, she had heard of the Buddha's teachings and sought him out. Kisagotami, her eyes swollen from endless tears, approached the Buddha and pleaded, "Please, Lord, can you bring my child back to life?" The Buddha, with infinite compassion, replied, "I can indeed help you, but first, you must do something for me. Go to the village and find a mustard seed from a house where no one has experienced death." Filled with hope, Kisagotami set off on her mission, going from house to house, asking for a mustard seed. But in each home, she heard stories of loss and sorrow, for death was a universal experience. As she realized the truth, the weight of her grief began to lift, replaced by a profound understanding of the impermanence of life. Returning to the Buddha, Kisagotami said, "I could not find a single home untouched by death. Now I understand that my suffering is not unique, and I am ready to accept the reality of death." The Buddha gently smiled and said, "You have learned a valuable lesson, dear Kisagotami. Embracing the impermanence of life is the first step towards finding true happiness." Kisagotami, touched by the Buddha's wisdom, became one of his most devoted followers. Her journey from profound sadness to enlightenment was a testament to the transformative power of the Buddha's teaching. The Buddha continued to teach and guide people from all walks of life, showing them the path to inner peace and happiness. His message of compassion, mindfulness, and wisdom spread far and wide, touching the lives of countless individuals. As the years passed, the Buddha's teachings continued to spread throughout the land, reaching the hearts of people from all walks of life. Monks and laypeople alike flocked to hear his sermons, seeking guidance on how to find happiness and liberation from suffering. One day, a man named Ananda approached the Buddha with a heavy heart. Ananda had lost his wife and children to a devastating illness, and his grief weighed upon him like a crushing burden. He asked the Buddha, "How can I find happiness again when my heart is filled with such sorrow?" The Buddha, his eyes filled with compassion, said, "Ananda, I understand your pain. Suffering is an integral part of the human experience. But remember, it is not the absence of suffering that leads to happiness, but the way we respond to it." The Buddha went on to explain that the human mind, like a turbulent river, was often agitated by desires and attachments. It was these attachments that caused suffering. To find happiness, one needed to navigate the river of the mind with mindfulness and wisdom, gradually letting go of attachments and desires that bound them to suffering. Ananda, inspired by the Buddha's words, decided to become his disciple. He joined the community of monks and embarked on a journey of self-discovery and transformation. He practiced meditation diligently, seeking to calm the turbulence of his own mind. Years passed, and Ananda made great progress in his spiritual journey. He became known for his kindness and wisdom, helping others on their path to happiness. His story served as a testament to the transformative power of the Buddha's teachings, showing that even in the face of profound sorrow, one could find a path to inner peace and contentment. As Ananda continued to grow in wisdom, he had a vision. He saw himself sitting under a tree, much like the Buddha had done when he attained enlightenment. In this vision, Ananda experienced a deep sense of peace and liberation, and he knew that this was a glimpse of his own enlightenment. Filled with gratitude for the Buddha's guidance, Ananda approached his teacher and said, "Bhagavan, I have had a vision of my own enlightenment. I am eternally grateful for your teachings, which have led me to this point." The Buddha smiled and replied, "Ananda, your dedication and wisdom have brought you to the threshold of enlightenment. Now, continue on your path with unwavering determination, and you will soon experience the true nature of happiness." And so, Ananda continued his spiritual journey, walking in the footsteps of the Buddha. He practiced compassion, mindfulness, and wisdom, sharing the teachings with others who sought happiness and freedom from suffering. As the years passed, Ananda's reputation as a wise and compassionate monk grew. People came from far and wide to seek his guidance, and his presence brought solace to those burdened by sorrow. Ananda's life became a living testament to the enduring power of the Buddha's message, that through understanding the nature of suffering and the path to liberation, one could transform their sadness into happiness. And so, the story of Siddhartha, who became the Buddha, and Ananda, who found his own path to happiness through the Buddha's teachings, serves as a timeless reminder that the quest for happiness is not limited to one lifetime or one individual. It is a journey that transcends time and space, offering hope and inspiration to all who seek the profound and lasting happiness that resides within the depths of the human heart. This story never truly ends, for it lives on in the hearts of those who continue to embark on their own journeys of self-discovery, compassion, and wisdom, following in the footsteps of the Buddha and Ananda, and finding that sadness can indeed turn into happiness on the path of enlightenment. This is God of Motive. Thanks for watching and stay focused.